SpaceX just released over 911.5 million insider shares worth $116 billion today on the trading floor. The belief was that, oh, the shares is going to crash further today, but it jumped 6% by the end of trading. According to pundits, according to analysts, they're still expecting the shares to drop further down than what it is right now. But if you are a long-term believer of Elon Musk, I believe you should start a position now. If you didn't get in during the IPO, it's time to start a position. There's a lot to unpack with SpaceX. I just stumbled upon this on Yahoo Finance. Retail investors have sought SpaceX stock every day since its IPO. So people were like waiting for this day to come. And this is like the first tranche. I believe another round of release. You said they have over 800 billion shares. So they are gradually releasing it to the market. So maybe the stock might go down tomorrow. Who knows? We don't know. So the story, the moat behind SpaceX is what you should be putting into perspective. All right? Because if you are just an emotional trader, if you see any little shaking, you might be frustrated about the stock. So one thing to note about SpaceX is the fact that it's built for the long haul. It's built for the long term. So anyone that is investing in SpaceX is investing in an idea. Space Exploration Technologies Corporation is building the integrated hardware and software infrastructure of the future across space, connectivity, and AI. This is something that, well, you might see it in your lifetime. Maybe it's the children that will see it. So what these guys are doing is that they are planning on building data centers in the cloud. They want to be able to transport heavy materials into Mars, on the moon. A couple of days back, one of their rockets or space shuttle crashed into moon, and it left a very big crater on the moon. It was traveling at a very crazy speed. So the plan is to actually go into space and build data centers in space, unlimited energy, unlimited resources. Maybe they will get minerals there. Who knows? And they are building robots that will be the ones working in space. So then, as of today, SpaceX was their internet service provider. Is it SpaceX also? So their internet service platform is like the biggest right now. So SpaceX also operates a highly vertically integrated AI platform spanning its frontier model Grok, consumer and enterprise AI applications, and AI computational infrastructure following its acquisition of XAI. The listed name for SpaceX is Space Exploration. So they also, Starlink. Starlink is the internet service. Let's look this up on Yahoo Finance. Yeah. So Starlink is the internet service provider for SpaceX. Well, not for SpaceX. That's like a subsidiary of SpaceX. Yeah. And recently, SpaceX bought Cursor, which is a coding platform. So there's a lot of things going on with SpaceX. and it is projected to triple its revenue, its market cap in by the end of the decade. So currently, SpaceX is trading at over $1.5 trillion. So it's projected that it's going to be hitting $10 trillion by the end of the century or in another 10 years. So let's look at the earnings. So what did the earnings say? So if you go on Google, let's look up the earnings. So SpaceX inaugural quarterly earnings report showcased aggressive spending toward AI. Revenue came in at $7.81 billion. Now, for a company that is worth 1.7, 1.5, $1.7 trillion, $7.1 billion, $7.8 billion was not, didn't really match because trillion, you have to justify why you're a $1 trillion company. So, traders, investors are skeptical about it. It's not that short-term weaknesses. It outperformed consensus estimates of $6.9 billion, had a net loss of over $541 million. Yeah. So they missed EPS. Oh, yeah, they beat their previous loss. Yeah. Hmm. Adjusted EBITDA 3.454 billion. Of course, spending hits 18 billion. It's going to hit because they are making a lot of investments. Uh, so the massive capital spending and the dip in Starlink's average revenue per share from $85 down to $66 are subscribers each 12 million. So there's a lot of things going uh, for SpaceX. Now, let us look at what analysts are saying. Bank of America raised its long-term forecast for SpaceX. Okay, it doesn't say how much it raised. The chief financial officer defended the heavy AI expenditures, noting that computing infrastructure features a sub 1 year payback period. So there's a lot of things going on for X right now. So you don't want to just judge based on those earnings reports. Yeah, it's been going down. I mean, it lost 50% since the time it was released in the IPO. But you can't really conclude. It is Elon Musk here. So if this stock is projected to grow up to $800 in the future, I don't know when, I don't know which year. So don't expect magic tomorrow morning. But you should start building a position. It's $115 thereabout right now. So you can begin to buy dollar cost into it. Begin to dollar cost over time. So one thing you want to note is according to Forbes, the earnings report marks the first quarterly financial update since its historic trading debut from June. SpaceX have lost more than half their value since hitting an all-time high of $220. So yeah, not much as pushed. Yeah, these guys are working in the back end. And there are rumors that probably in the future, SpaceX and Tesla could merge, even though it's lost over $700 billion since its IPO. But SpaceX is a company to look out for in the future. Is the company of the future. So when you can begin to put some money aside for your children, they will thank you by the time they begin to reap the benefits. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring this to your notice. Let's check. Let's look it up again here. Let's look at the charts for SpaceX. SP. Let's look at the charts. Let's see what the chart is saying. Make it bigger. There you go. So we are beginning to see some patterns, some trends. So you have to be technical in your analysis. So look at the first drop here. Look at the second drop. Then so you want to take note of that drop. Then so this look like, well, for now you can't really tell. It's not up to 6 months yet, but you are looking at those significant zones. So it went all the way to $108. This is $108 here. So that means that it dropped up to 108, then went back up to maybe 120, thereabout. And then it came back down to 108, and then it's up to 140, 114.92 cents. So yeah. So these are zones you want to keep an eye on. It's still going to drop further. The last time I recorded something on SpaceX, I said it's going to drop. So it's still going to drop further. It's still going to drop further down before it begins that that journey to the moon. So right now, it went all the way to $11. It came at IPO $167, or was it $135? So it's dropped drastically down. Then it's trying to come back up. So let me see yeah, $108. Yeah. Then this point, 113, 115. So these are target zones you want to be focusing on as events continue to unfold. There's really not much to analyze yet because the data is still very scanty. This is just the first earnings call. So we'll continue to be on the lookout for SpaceX. Yeah, you need to subscribe. So we'll continue to look out for news, for for whatever could push momentum. But another round of sell-off might drop it further down. So if you notice, sellers are not really aligning to go down. So they are always pushing it back up. Push it back up, it goes further down. Push it back up, it goes further down. Back up, goes further down. And this has been the trend. So this time around, they pushed it up from 108 to 126, thereabout. And then it came jacked back down again. Then it's coming up. And every time it's coming down, it's hitting a new low. So you want to pay attention to that. But right now, we have two resistance zones. So these are resistance zones that you might, if you get it back at 108, you might want to initiate a position from there. So hopefully, if it goes further down, if it goes further down, 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 down. Okay, so if it goes further down, you might want to start thinking of buying more. Anything under $100. For some analysts, they are pushing that it might even reach $62. So just if you get it at anything less than $70, anything 64, $55, just load up. 100 shares, 1,000 shares, load up. That's it from me tonight. See you on the next one. So make sure you keep an eye. This is not a financial advice. Make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you ask questions. Do your own research before you make any investments. Take care.